Okay, guys, so on this one, I'm going to prove to you, I'm going to let this guy prove to you that the Democrats are cheating, major cheating in elections. All right, so he's going to reveal something that's going to make your eyes bug out of your head concerning illegals and voting. But then I'm going to clue you in on how they benefit in this whole cheating deal that has nothing to do with the illegals actually voting. I'm going to clue you into that. But first, we're going to listen to what this gentleman has to say, who is an American citizen and an immigrant. And during the video, you're going to see a little clip from this lying sack of dog excrement who has a pound of grease smeared all over the top of his head. Okay, so let's check this out and listen in, and you'll recognize the lying sack of dog excrement as he gets into this video. All right, take it away.
Hi, everyone. So take a look at this clip and come right back.
You think ICE is not going to show up around voting and polling booths to chill participation? You know that. The National Guard, you know that. Everybody knows what's at stake, so we have to put a stake in the ground and do things differently.
So think about what he said for a second. As many of you know, I was an immigrant in America for 18 years before I became a citizen. And throughout that entire 18-year period, there was never a single time that I showed up at a polling station on election day because I did not have the right to vote in America. So what is Gavin Newsom saying here? There are immigrants who are voting. Now, this is not just about immigrants, because what he is suggesting is that the presence of ICE will stop people from going to the polls. So he's not even talking about legal immigrants, because legal immigrants will have nothing to fear if ICE is around. So basically what he's saying is that illegal immigrants will be deterred from going to the polls. So are illegal immigrants making it a habit to go to the polls on election day in America? I thought Democrats said our elections are the most secure ever, and that not requiring ID was necessary because people that look like me apparently can't get IDs. Is this the reason why they don't want voter IDs? If this is not a confession of how corrupt the voting system in Democrat-controlled states have become, I don't know what will convince you. Our elections must be protected from the corruption of charlatans who continue to clamor about protecting democracy, but will take every opportunity to undermine the process while pretending to be the saviors of the system. As a new American citizen who just a few years ago earned my right to vote, I believe that my vote needs to be protected from being wiped out by illegal immigrants. If this was not a plan, I am calling on ICE to actually show up at polling stations, because citizens are not intimidated by seeing law enforcement. And we cannot continue to allow our election system to be abused.
Amen to that. Wow. Well, he laid it out. Okay, so now you see that it was Gavin the Greasehead Gruesome Newsom is the lying sack of dog excrement that I was referring to in the beginning there. And you know what? I don't know why anyone ever believes a word that comes out of his lying, nasty little mouth. But that's exactly what's going on behind the scenes, and why they don't want voter ID and why they don't want ICE around election time. All right, so for those of you who think that illegals don't vote, think again, because illegals are allowed to vote on local issues. Already in like New York City and in places in California and in Chicago, they let illegals vote. But it's a very small percentage of illegals that are voting in the big election for the president, but it does happen. But that's not the real benefit from this whole system of cheating. The whole scam that they're trying to pull is this. We bring in 30 million illegals into the country, an insurmountable amount of people that there's no way that we could deport them all. That's what Biden was doing. But it's not to get them to vote. They don't have to get them to vote. I'll tell you what the benefit is. When you pour in 30 million illegals into the country, concentrated in blue states, you change the population. Now, interestingly, in the last census, they counted illegal aliens. Why? I don't know. I don't know what the hell is up with that. Why would we count illegals in a census? It should only be citizens or people who are here legally and paying taxes. Period. End of story. But since they were counting illegals in the census, that means that the population that goes to the state of California, for the millions of people that they have there, or the millions that have been delivered to New York City and Chicago and Denver, Colorado, well, what that does, it changes the weight of the distribution of House of Representatives seats. So when you increase the population, since you're counting the illegal aliens, that means that we can shift the number of representatives that are given from that state. So let's say if California had, I don't know how many they actually have, it might be around 30 or 40. And then you increase the population by 10 million. Well, they might add 4 more seats or 5 seats because the population went up. And then as the population proportionally goes down in the red states, they will take away representatives from those areas that are being given over to the blue states. So then that tips the scale. And so right now, while we have 218 to 213, somewhere around there. The House is nearly a 50-50 split where we've got more Republicans than Democrats. Well, when you count the illegals in the census, you can shift that number where the Democrats could be in control. And they could create an insurmountable lead in the House of Representatives by counting illegals in the census. So Donald Trump has proposed that we have to redo the census and not count the illegals. What are your thoughts about that? Do you think that we should count illegals in the census? I don't. The only reason why we're counting illegals in the census is for power. And it's the Democratic Party that's the one pushing to count for the illegals in the census. So now you know the real reason. They don't have to vote at all. It's all about shifting the power in the House of Representatives. And I'm so glad that they are talking about redoing that census, because if they didn't, holy smokes, the people that are always hollering about saving and protecting democracy, well, it would be the end of democracy. Actually, we're a representative republic. We're not a democracy in the first place, but it would give them an edge and allow them to hold power that might not ever be able to be reversed if they were allowed to do it. So post in the comments, let me know what your thoughts are about illegals in the census. I want to know, are you for it or are you against it? And is there any reason beyond the Democrats cheating and wanting to pull the rug out from underneath the Republicans by snatching away those seats that are allocated in the red states, giving over to the blue states? Is there any reason beyond that? No, there is not. But if you know of a reason beyond that, let me know in the comments. I'd sure like to know. So hit the like button, subscribe, share this with a friend, share it right now. And we're going to continue on this topic. I got a whole lot more because we're going to have the deep dive into immigration law, where I'm going to expose all of you people that are on this whole Antifa bandwagon, this whole anti-ICE crap. You're about to get exposed when I uncover the history of immigration policy and what the law actually states. And the bottom line is going to be, the Democrats of today are not your parents' Democrats. We're going to blow all that out the water very soon, so hang in with me. That's all I got for this one. This is Carlton, and I'm out.